Hey guys, I'm Phoenix here, and welcome to Scrap Mechanic. Now, this game has caused me a little bit of problem this afternoon, this evening actually, we're at now. Just in getting it to stream, I've had to switch over to using the other OBS software, which I wasn't using before. It's like the more up-to-date one, but more up-to-date doesn't always mean better as far as I'm concerned. But in any case, let's just jump into the survival game of Descent. That's the one. So anyway, welcome to Scrap Mechanic. So as I said, things may be a little bit dodgy. Basically, it wouldn't actually record, it wouldn't stream under the old OBS for whatever reason, but this one will do it. Also, Scrap Mechanic is a very sticky game, and by that I mean, so I'm running it in borderless windowed, which would normally be fine with every other application out there. It means that I would be able to bring up anything that's on the same screen as it, because I would usually run OBS on my primary monitor rather than my secondary, because I've got YouTube running on my secondary, so why? Anyway, yeah, the game didn't want to minimise at all. As far as borderless windowed was concerned, it was stuck to that main screen, and it was stuck in full screen. I couldn't put any apps over the top, which was a little bit irritating. But anyway, welcome to Scrap Mechanic, a game that's rather interesting, and we'll go into why in just a second when it finally loads. It's got some issues with loading times. I think this game is still technically in early access, but the survival mode is very interesting to me, because it's a little bit more akin to what I want from a game, or survival games now. Certainly, Stationeers has started to do a bit of it as well, but I do feel that there's still a way to go, and this kind of gets close. Space Engineers again also kind of gets close, but the amount of jankiness that's in Space Engineers just means that there's no point in me playing it, because I'll just get irritated with it and not want to play it anymore. So, as what happened last time, I lost so many ships and just so much stuff just going on with the game, and it's just like, nah, I can't be bothered with this anymore. But yeah, Scrap Mechanics is slightly different to that, mainly because it's not relying on an ancient copy of Havoc to do all of its physics for it. It's taking a very long time for it to load in. It'll get there in the end, I'm sure. I don't think it's crashed. I hope it hasn't crashed. As I said, the game's a bit... There's other things that are a little bit wrong with this. Long loading times, long startup time. If you run it on Windows 7, it may not actually boot in the first place. All that sort of jazz. Oh yeah, and yeah, this is a fun little issue that I haven't seen before, but basically the textures haven't quite loaded in yet. It'll get there. It's struggling, but it'll get there. In the meantime, while it's sort of loading in, textures, let's talk about, at least it's not bright pink, right? There we go. We've got textures, mostly. Some of them. We've got some of the textures now. Anyway, so welcome to Scrap Mechanic. This is an interesting game on the basis that it seems to be about building farms and then protecting them. And the way you do that is by building fortifications and guns, and I think there's some spud guns somewhere in the game. I haven't actually managed to reach them yet. And we go, free left, so we can just do this. The reason why we're doing this is because I've just noticed that the crates have respawned up here. So I can just grab that. That gets me batteries, some chemicals, and some components. That's actually quite a good thing to find. Okay, so standard... Oh god. Let me just deal with him. Anyway, So, standard survival, as I was saying before, standard survival rules apply. The world that you are currently in is kind of dangerous. The enemies are all robots. They're farm bots specifically, so they were designed to work in sort of farming. That sometimes happens as well. My thing has just vanished. Anyway, specifically, yeah. So they were designed for to be, farming this place. But something's gone wrong, and they've kind of got very annoyed at you. Well, not you specifically, but humans in general. And you are on your way here for whatever reason, and you crash land. So my ship is currently over there somewhere. You put out the fires by just throwing water at it, as you do. And through, killing things and finding components, you eventually build yourself a ramshackle contraption, which you then use to get yourself to that mechanics workshop there, where you can then start building something a little less ramshackle, like what I've got here. It's not great. Certainly it needs an awful lot of work, but it's good enough. It chops things down, and it did used to have a drill on it, but I've had to take the drill off because it was causing some problems. So you can grab stuff and just load it up. It can sort of auto load itself, but my machine for doing that isn't really very good at the moment. I need a better machine, certainly. But yeah, so the meat of the game really is it isn't the survival aspect, really. There is a sort of a basic, what I would say it was sort of actually a fairly brutal survival mechanic, I have to say, in that the food and water does go down quite quickly if I haven't actually tried the cookbot yet, but I would assume that the cookbot will actually process food a little bit better than what I'm currently doing. The cookbot, we can actually find out. Let's go for a little drive. Yeah, I need to put some stabilizers on this thing. I think it's a 2-tool, and that happens. It's fine. I need to. So the idea behind this was that it was, or is eventually going to be a mining or it was sort of a prototype basically for a tree cutting vehicle. I think what I learned from this is that it needs to be longer and wider to make up for its high centre of gravity. I need to lower that centre of gravity down a bit. Anyway, so yeah, you basically start off with very, very basic things, scrap engines, wheels that aren't circular, so you bump around all over the place. And you eventually build much, much larger constructions. But this is the thing that I really need to work on next. I think this is pretty much what I'm going to work on today, in fact. We'll certainly do a little bit of expansion onto the buggy. As I said, it needs to be longer. So let's just deal with this rancher. They're kind of fine as long as you walk backwards. And they drop useful stuff, so circuit boards, yay, and component kits, and we can just hand refine that because I can't bother to carry it. Carrying things, carrying things means you walk slower, so I just want to grab that scrap and move on, really. So on we go. So it's got a few issues with it. Oh, geez, like that. Yeah. Oh no. Yeah. So the survival is a little extreme. It's where was I going? I lost my train of thoughts. Yeah. Ultimately, early access game. I do think it probably needs to be balanced a little bit. The initial grind is kind of extreme for finding food and water. Well, I say finding food and water. Water doesn't actually. Bad bot. Stop attacking the cows. I'm going to need those at some point. Apparently I can milk them. I haven't worked that one out yet. Components and let's put that one in. Why isn't this doing anything? Oh, it did do something, but it didn't actually do what I wanted it to do originally. But anyway, it's fine. It's going to do that. So the idea behind all this, I should just do a sort of a quick sort of base thing, because some of this may look a little bit mad. There is method to this madness, and basically that method is I want trains, and this is the sort of game that does actually allow you to build pretty much whatever you like. You can build trains, you can build sort of water. What I kind of want to do here is like some kind of a water, sort of a sprinkler type system, where I have a rail system that kind of comes in here, and it goes over here to the water. And so the idea being that I drop some vacuum pumps, that sucks up the water into some tanks, and then it wheels over here and sprinkles my crops with stuff. Mainly because at the moment it's kind of slow process in that I have to actually fill up a bucket and then move it over here and throw it on. It's clumsy, and it's just not good enough really at the moment, but that's fine. We'll deal with that. The parts that I have picked up, so those mod components can be used for a whole bunch of stuff. I hear robot. Oh, is it that? It might just be that. It's probably just that. Okay, well, let's get this sorted out first. I need to pull this out. Not with that amount of non. Oh, can I put anything in here? No, I can't. I don't need these wheels. Why am I keeping these wheels? Okay. Going to need that. I won't need that. Right. So yeah, filling up food and water is just a case of eating the right kind of crops. Beets are the best, but everything will give you food and water. Right, let's start by grabbing the logs that I put into here. I can upgrade certain components with oh, for goodness sake, my brain's not working today. I can grade certain components with those mod components that I picked up. Right, I need to move this out so that I think it needs to be past here. So maybe if we go to about here, and then go to about there-ish. You can take that out. Like that. Something like that. No, that needs to come down more. Hold on. I've done that wrong. Ah! Damn it. Just, I'm going to need all this. Right. So, that needs to come out by about there, and maybe about like that. We then put our thing in there, and then those two, and then there, and there. Yeah. 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 There we go. And as for this side, that side can probably stay as it is. So okay, well let's give this a go. Oh, for goodness sake. Okay, we need to connect these wheels up again to the engine. Make sure that they are going in the right direction, which they are. Yeah, they are. And then do that one, so that one's going, yep, so they're going in the right direction as well. Just make sure that that's out of the way. And also hook this one up. And then, yeah, that should be fine, in theory. A little bit uncomfortable to control, but it's fine. What I would really like to do not completely certain why they give you a hotbar when you can't actually do anything with it, but that'll do for now. We have a vehicle. Right. So next up, I need to go into here and craft those. I'm going to need more. So I think we need to get I need a drill, a proper drill. Now, if I put it too low, it's going to mess around with various things. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to do that and that, this, and let's put the drill on. And then I'm going to hook that to there. Let's give it a range of 2 so it comes out 2 blocks. Perfect. Next up, we need a second engine on here, which I might have one knocking around. Yeah. Doesn't need to be next to the engine, that's just how I do it. And then we need some fuel. Right, so let's get some fuel sorted. Now, some things to note while I'm gathering oil from the depths of the ocean. Rather annoyingly, this can't be automated. There are certain aspects of scrap mechanics which I feel is lacking. Certainly something like this is a great example of somewhere where ultimately what you want to do is drop a vacuum pump down here to gather the oil, and maybe the oil veins, if you like, diminish over time, or force you to have it as a mobile constructor so that you can move it around. But it's one of those areas. It's not a huge deal, but it's just an area where I do feel that the game is lacking. The ability to build certain things that will make your life easier in the long run. Certainly, I've got some plans for sort of a logging machine, because logging isn't quite so simple as just putting things on, just cutting the trees down. There's a little bit more work to do with it. So that's going to be an interesting thing to kind of to work out, sort of doing things like working out how trees fall, to work out how I can build a machine that can essentially capture the logs and then tear them apart, and then put them into some kind of processing sort of machine. And it's the same with the rocks as well. The rocks need to be broken up far more. So really what I need to do is I need to build a machine that can drill into a rock and then sort of capture the pieces of rock that fall out, so that I can then crush that up before it gets put through processing. And I'm going to need that sort of stuff because I need to be able to build these large and more complicated machines, so that I can. And this is the thing. And this is the trick when you know that a game's got some sort of good ideas behind it. Satisfactory is, just a very sort of similar style, where you can win by just, you build your hub and that's it. But there's so much more to see than that, so you're going to need bigger and better machines in order to be able to do that. So, what's stopping you ultimately? So today I'm going to be aiming for this cookbot anyway. I need to get more metal, probably. Certainly won't be seeing the crusher yet, but just need to get that right. So we've now got that, so we can put this fuel. It's a little bit clumsy, but yeah, we put this fuel into here. This fuel, thank you. So excellent. Ultimately what I want to do is sort of railroad it almost. I don't know. I feel like what I really need to do with the drill is have a large machine that kind of roughly aims at it, and then a smaller machine that kind of drills through, maybe? I don't know. This is the thing. You can kind of experiment with this sort of stuff. Anyway, we're looking for very specific types of rock, specifically this type of rock. Another way to do it, I think, would be an arm system. I do have a controller on this thing now, so I could just do that. But yeah, so we would kind of do it like that, and then we do. Now, what's inevitably going to happen is that I'm going to get stuck doing this, but it's not to worry. I see this is the problem, that it's now a little bit too low for my drill, so really that needs to be on a pivot, maybe. So let's just get all this. Let's get this rock down. I'm gonna need it all. Come on, come on. Good. Okay, let's go and bad. Okay. And yeah, okay, right. I think that's about as much as I'm going to be able to do. Well, I want to get that big rock deconstructed, because I won't be able to do anything with my sledgehammer with that, but let's just deal with this robot. Which they hit very hard. Right. Let's get round this other side. Break up as much as I can with the drill. Which I think is just that. So let's turn off all this stuff. Really, and I should just grab one of these things. I think I've got one sitting there. It's not doing anything. This should automatically pick up any resources nearby. Should be rather useful. Like so. You can also just hit things. Just hit things. Come on. Come on. There we go. Right. Got some more over here. I'm glad the games industry is still doing quite well, I have to say. You know, they've been able to sort of head down and just continue on, not exactly as normal. Certainly there's been an awful lot of challenge involved with the whole working from home type of thing that's going on all over the world right now. But they are one of the few industries that are quite uniquely placed to basically say, yeah, so, you know, this thing's going on outside, so what? We can just sort of get on with what we need to do. Right, while that's doing that, I am going to go for a little drive to see if we can get some more of that ember. Oh god, oh god. This needs to be so much longer. But, oh well. It's fine. Once we're out on the road, it'll be a little better. Not much, but a little. Yeah, so I've just seen that Stationeers has just dropped an update, which adds in auto miners. So you can basically build a static miner type thing, and it will drill from surface to bedrock, which is useful. Or, you know, it has the potential to be very useful. What else? So there was this. This survival update came very nicely. There's probably been a few others that have just sort of dropped updates here and there. Nothing huge that has sort of reached my radar, but I did actually. I think the last stream that I attempted to do was last week at some point. I was going to play some Fortnite. Because with the lockdown and all, I decided, you know, people really do hate on Fortnite, you know, quite a lot, and I was just very interested to see why people hated Fortnite so much, and I think I can safely say that right now I have no idea. An awful lot of the dislike of Fortnite has been due to loot boxes, which they don't currently have anymore. They took them all out. And I don't know how much of it was because they shared a stage with EA and saw how EA were defending their actions and just thought, oh, this is how people see us. Yeah, I don't know how much of it is that, but yeah, all the loot boxes are now gone. Hello. It's a thing. Interesting. Not seen this before. Okay, right, well, let's... Okay, so circuit boards. Some kind of tent. Interesting. Very, very interesting. There's obviously, you know, another story here, I feel. Especially as there seems to be... a dude in there. But, he doesn't seem to want to talk. I can't knock him out. I don't know quite what the deal is with that guy, but it'll be fine, I'm sure. I need more of this. Okay, that's probably fine for now. Let's go back to our machine. Obviously, once I actually have a logging machine, this will be a little bit easier because I'll just be able to drive through it and let the saws do the work. But for now, it's fine. Right. So it's over there. When I first played the survival mode, I spent absolutely forever trying to find a battery for that place. Turns out it's just in one of those things, and you can use the hammer to knock the door open. I was thinking, you need to power it up in order to get the doors open, but no. Tutorials are a little bit haphazard in places here. I don't know. There's obviously work that needs to be done on the game. Tooltips is another thing. I really do need to start adding tooltips to crafting recipes, because I've got no idea what some of these things are. I'm kind of having to work things out by what shape they are. So glue is a good example. What's that? Who knows? It turns out it's some kind of clam, but I was just kind of thinking shell. I'll go down to the beach and just see if it's there, and actually it's these clam things down here, which it needs to be a little bit more explanatory. It's a small thing. Anyway, so I need more of those. But not to worry, we can get more of that. Just take the stone out of here. And while that's doing that, we can start working on our next little construction. So if I build, basically I need a channel for wheels to go, so it's be about one wide and then down, so something like that should be adequate. Obviously, the other thing I have to be careful of when building a construction like this is going to be height. But for the moment, oh yeah, because it needs to come this way, doesn't it? So that will go all the way to the bottom there eventually, so up to 45. This gives us 10, so that's 55. So I need one more. Oh, I actually only need one more, right? It's also a shame you can't chain these. Anyway, so I just need to grab some more mod components. Also, while I'm here, oh, I've got tomatoes. Chests do appear to respawn after reload. So there's a chest here. Oh no, there's a couple of hams here, not chests. However, you will have the components in that I need. In theory, no, you've got circuit boards. Basically, just need to kill some robots, or break some chests in order to finish up the cookbot thing. that means finding some robots. And the robots are being rather inconvenient at the moment. We're at 40 minutes. No, it's just still that thing. Come on. Still, you're not dropping the things that I need. I mean, I might be able to get some from the crush site. This thing intrigues me up here, actually, because the way that it apparently works, I've not tried it yet, but based off the instructions on the side of the thing, you feed in crops using like a vacuum pump coming out of a chest, and it gives you something. I don't know specifically what. I'll just walk over to the instructions. So they've kind of got these instructions that are built in world, which is quite nice. It's a packing station. So it gives you a punnet of something. But what you do with that packing station, I don't know. Maybe you then transport that over there. But next one down is another packing station, so I don't know. It's all a bit of a mystery. So far, I'll have a poke around with that later. Oh, is that a chest? That is a chest. Just, you know, I just kind of thought, oh, I'll poke around here just in case there's a chest. Yeah. Paint ammo, glass block, component kits. So I'm too short now. And yeah, so you get the component kits out of crates and off of robots. Walked into that one a bit. I was a little bit concerned about the ones over there, but that's probably not where I should have been looking. Oh well. And frame rate tanking. And we're back to normal. Excellent. How are we doing? One more. Should note when you die, you do drop a container of your stuff. So it's just something to be aware of. We're doing a sort of a container drop with all your stuff in. How many robots? A lot. There's a lot of robots around here. Oh no, that's a bunch of flowers, but there are a lot of robots around here. So the things that I'm looking for, these components, are an upgrade material as well. So they are obviously going to be sought after. There we go, last component kit. I need to run up to... oh god, there's two of them. I don't know if they'll not attack me, but I don't know if I can run away from them basically. But I don't want to drop my stuff, especially as I've got quite a lot of good stuff on me. Just up this road. Oh yeah. I was a bit lost for a moment there. Our little encampment is behind these. Sometimes, yeah, you'll put down a farm that then attracts robots, so you can kind of build a sort of a farm for farming robots to a certain degree. Anyway, right, collect that. Do I now have all the components? Yes, I do. I can strap it to the top. I think I've got everything that I needed. Anyway, we'll find out in a second. Yeah. So this allows me to cook additional food. It's tiny. Okay, so make a pizza burger. I need to work out how to get milk. Veggie burger. That's doable. And a revival baguette. Interesting. Well, let's bolt it onto here. I need to work out how to get milk out of cows now, and I tried a little while ago with buckets, but that didn't seem to be doing anything. Out of fuel, and as a result we just flip randomly, because that makes sense. No, you're not going to let me do that. That would be far too easy. Right. And so we are now home. So yeah, I've now got this cookbot, but cookbot. So that's rather useful. I'll work out cows when I'm not playing in front of people, just because it will require an awful lot of fiddling around. But yes, let's see if there's any carrots, because I might actually be able to make something. Yeah. No, oh god, where did I put the thing? Okay, so this fills up hunger meter to the max. Oh, so the revival baguette, yeah, you feed it to them. Okay, so it's food and water, and just, oh, that's excellent. Okay, no, that's certainly worth doing then. Just making food out of that. But I think for now, you kind of get the point of it's a little bit shorter than normal. I'll probably be back once I've got some more interesting machines going on with this. It's intriguing. But anyway, for now, I will say thank you very much for watching. Hope everybody is healthy. And raring to go tomorrow morning for work. And yeah, and so I'll see you next time.